Broadcasting live, this is the Handicappers Report, brought to you by the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany, and CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today.
Good morning. Welcome to the Handicappers Report, taking a look at the action for Saturday, November 27th. Seth Merrow and Brian Nadeau. Brian, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Seth, and happy day, happy belated Thanksgiving to you and everybody back home. And that's kind of big weekend of the year. I know Aqueduct's got the Naira Mile coming up, but certainly the Stars of Tomorrow card at Churchill Downs, and then the a lot of big excitement. Del Mar's got the big weekend too, so a lot to look forward to. And then we quickly turn the calendar to 2022, and we'll be talking Derby sooner than later.
Yeah, it is a big weekend of racing out at Del Mar. A lot of great turf action. I just wanted to go back earlier in the week. Mahoney kicked things off on Monday. The Thanksgiving week started early with the Steel Valley Sprint for $250,000. Baby Yoda, maybe that was just turned out to be maybe a freaky performance up at Saratoga. Then Tuesday at Zia, Superstock did live up to his billing as the Arkansas Derby winner won the Zia Derby, but it was against a field of three others. He kind of outclassed that field, not unexpected there. I guess that the news, though, was Baby Yoda just hasn't shown up now in a couple of performances. At least it hasn't shown up in the way he did up at Saratoga with that 114 buyer. It looks like, as I say, that may have just been a freakish one-day kind of a thing.
Yeah, I wonder, Seth, if like in the PPs next month when we see Baby Yoda again, if that number will be like a 101 or something like that. The penchant has been known to happen of late. But yeah, it was just such a freak performance. He was pace compromised. I think he was third in the Vosburg, and then he had a little trouble at Mahoning. But the winner, I believe, was paid $110 or something crazy like that. So yeah, clearly Baby Yoda, that was the exception as opposed to the rule. Was that the first? I think that was the second performance since they privately purchased him. So yeah, he's a very nice horse, but I don't think he's ever going to get back to that kind of number.
Yeah, freakish. And as I say, Superstock looking pretty good at Zia. En Bhutan on Thursday, I thought it looked good. I used Bonnie South over En Bhutan, but En Bhutan, at the top of the stretch, En Bhutan had plenty left.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tactical race that she was always going to have a big advantage over Bonnie South, who's so pace compromised. And you know what? En Bhutan might be a better horse than Bonnie South anyway. So when you put those two together, it makes for tough sledding for Bonnie South, who's a nice horse in her own right. Don't get me wrong, but when you're close in ability and you're spotting your main rival that many lengths of tactical speed, it puts you in a tough spot.
Yeah. So again, big weekend, and we're going to take a look at some of that. We'll start things out with Churchill. I'll take a look at Saturday Aqueduct a little bit later on, but let's kick it off with Churchill on Saturday. Maiden special, 2-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs. What did you see in Saturday's opener?
Yeah, we'll give out the one sheet selections. And the one sheet at Churchill, we're up to about a 260 or so ROI on the meet. 6 for 12 on Thanksgiving with a $38 winner and a straight exacta in that race. That was around, I think, $189 or something. So, 12 races and $64 worth of winners. So, listen, I got to pump it a little bit after I had a little bit of a struggle at the earlier Churchill meet. So I'm happy that it's going well. And this is a tough card, Seth. I'm sure you looked at it. 12 races for 2-year-olds, a lot of them lightly raced, long on talent and promise. So we'll see how it shakes out. The opener's a toughie. 9, 4, 10, 12, 3. I'll use all the slots. Have I Never, Cherie DeVoe Firster. And Seth, Maggie Moss owns this one. I haven't seen this combination before. When you think of Maggie Moss, you think of Tom Amos. And here's one with Cherie. This is one of these restricted maiden special weight RNA races. They paid $40 for a daughter of Competitive Edge. We know Cherie DeVoe is really, really good with first-time starters. Plenty of works on display here. Brian Hernandez here as well. Have I Ever on top. Number 4, Zamuda for Kenny McPeak coming out of the open, the non-restricted maiden special weights at Churchill and Saratoga. A little bit of a layoff, but this is a big class drop for a horse like this, dipping in now to the RNA ranks. Ice Baby, a firster from Brad Cox. Star Table on the outside picks up Rosario. And number 3, Medley has had some chances for Steve Asmussen.
All right, let's turn the page. I will say, if people were following the sheet yesterday, it was Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. It was a very good day then, because I didn't realize you had done as well as you did and gave away the 30. I was 5 for 12 and had a $20-something winner. So the people were using the one sheet at Churchill on Thanksgiving Day. They got the turkey, I guess.
Well, that's good work, because I definitely didn't have the 20-something winner. And so I would think between the two of us, we had the longest winners on the card on top. So golf clap to you. Well done.
Always worth picking up the one sheet. Again, if you're not familiar, capitalotv.com, go on the top row there, click on handicapping, and then click on Handicappers Report. It's a nice printable sheet. You can follow along with various tracks on the racing day. Second race at Churchill, maiden specials, going 6 furlongs.
This is just 12-6 to the hoop, and this is another one of those RNA races. And you look at the 12, Unpredictable Bay. Yes, he's 0 for 6 with 5 seconds and a third, but he's never run in one of these restricted races. And this is a monumental class drop out of 2 open, unrestricted maiden special weights at Churchill earlier in the meet. Now to a spot like this, just to really quickly, you're not facing the Stone Streets, the Coolmores, the Jack Oxleys. You're not facing horses, Windstar, anything like that. For the most part, 99% of the time, these are more of the, not to disrespect anyone, but they're very more the cookie cutter kind of connections. You're seeing horses like this for 40,000 and things like that. This is a huge drop. Unpredictable Bay, I would think, gets over the hump. Now, number 6, Cosilio, we'll call it, for Cox. It was a good third on debut at this level. Brad is 30% second out maiden. So this is the straight one punch exacta. 12-6 for me. Early pick 4 time as well.
And you've said it before, they should put the R up at the top next to main special. But the thing is, a few weeks ago, and maybe it's different venues. I can't figure out what it is exactly, but they do it sometimes and not other times.
You're right. And I'm right. They should do that. But the weird thing is, it's now appearing in the past performances, the running lines.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, DRF. But, a lot of people, if people aren't in the loop that Churchill's got these huge purses now, they're just going to look at this race. They're going to say, oh, maiden special weight for 92,000. Oh man, that's a big race. They're not going to think any different. You got to read the conditions of the race, but all they have to do is put the R up there and circle it. I don't understand it. Very frustrating. Very frustrating.
And like I say, sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. I cannot figure it out. The third at Churchill, again, maiden special, 2-year-old fillies, 1 1/16.
So this is the open unrestricted maiden special weight, 8.563. Now, Bird Empress, you've got to dig in this pedigree, but it's a the late Mary Lou Whitney homebred, okay? And when you see birds in the name, maybe let's look at this pedigree a little bit. The Grand Dam of this horse, the Grand Dam of Bird Harbor, was a half to Birdtown and Birdstone. So this is a big Mary Lou Whitney homebred pedigree here. And Bird Empress wanted nothing to do with 6 furlongs on debut. That's for sure. Passed a horse or two late. Didn't show a lot of interest. Wasn't really bet that day either. Wide at the quarter pole. Now we stretch out. Norm Cassie got the tightener in this one. And I think it's an all systems go angle. Norm is so good at reading a condition book. Obviously, he learned a lot from his dad. And he's done a really, really good job. And Norm picks his spots nicely. I think you're going to get a big, big move forward for Bird Empress. Honeycomb, definitely a major player for Rusty Arnold. A sloppy second on debut at Keeneland. And I think can move forward from that one. Cat Wings for Tom Amos. We've already mentioned him. She seems to be moving forward. And then Ain't Broke down inside for Brett Calhoun was 3-1 on debut. was a middling fifth. I look for this one to move forward on the stretch out too. So this is like what you get all day long on this Churchill card. These lightly raced horses trying different things, stretching out from one turn to two, facing winners maybe later on. It's a tough day at Churchill. 8, 5, 6, 3. Seth, you know what else it is at Churchill? The penultimate day at Churchill.
Very good. The fourth at Churchill this afternoon. More maiden specials. 2-year-old fillies going 7 this time.
6-3 over the 1-7. Kenny McPeak, we don't really think of him as a first out guy, but boy, his 2-year-olds are running this year, especially since we got out of Saratoga when he had, the unfortunate, the barn got the quarantine and stuff. Ever since he's left Saratoga, boy, he's winning a lot of 2-year-old races. And Runaway Wife, listen, I didn't see these workouts, and a couple of them were at a smaller venue, but the 2 Keeneland Bullet workouts, they just jump off the page. Kenny's not really a guy that works them all that fast either. So Runaway Wife, if the money shows, and this is a daughter, a gun runner, first full out of the mare, if the money shows, look out. Savo Island for Brad is a more maybe likely winner off the solid debut. This is a full sister to Klimp, who won the Del Mar Grade 1 Del Mar Futurity for Baffert back in the day. Purobin Dorada down inside for Paulo Lobo. A big number on debut, was an okay fifth, can move forward. And then Tricked Out for Bill Collins and Tyler Gaffalione, improving form, a couple of thirds. Tough race. Seth, the proven runners here, I mean, you're a buyer guy. They're pretty slow on paper. If Runaway Wife can run a little bit, she's going to be tough in here.
I won't be surprised, though, of the runners that have buyers that don't stand out. Gunslinging had some trouble, and it's another gun runner from Asmus, and I won't be surprised if that one improves in the second time out.
Yeah, I mean, the horse did have trouble and then really packed it in. Was 8-1 that day on debut, which I thought was a little disconcerting. Now gets Rosario, probably gonna have to take a tough price. And you're seeing, listen, if you didn't pick up on it yet, I mean, it just looks like Ricardo Santana is out of this barn. Because yes, Rosario's riding horses and Gaffalione is too. There's a couple jocks today that he has never ever ridden. And Santana's not on any horse. It'll be interesting to see what happens at Fairgrounds / Oaklawn this winter. Typically, Ricardo would go to Fairgrounds, ride for a month, and then when Oaklawn opened, go to Oaklawn. I believe word came out this past week, right? Joel Rosario is going to Oaklawn. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see if Santana sticks at Fairgrounds, if he gets any mounts for Steve Asmussen. It just looks like right now the Band-Aid has been ripped off completely, and that's it.
Well, they had, going back, 3-4 years, they had kind of a split at one time that lasted, I would say, the better part of a year at least, and then kind of came back together. So maybe it's another situation like that. But yeah, it has become obvious over the past couple of weeks, certainly. Fifth race at Churchill, $120,000 up for grabs for 2-year-old maiden specials, going 9 furlongs.
Tough here. 3, 4, 9, 12, 6. Now, Magazine Street for Steve Asmussen. And here's kind of what I was alluding to. Corrales is riding for the barn. I mean, and listen, he's a very good rider. Don't get me wrong at all. But you would think like, okay, Ricardo, I'll give you this one maybe. Magazine, and Ricardo rode this one on debut at Keeneland, by the way. This is a Winchell homebred, a half to Finite, who we know very well, who's Steve. She's earned almost $1 million. Grade 2 winner. So Magazine Street off kind of an fourth on debut, stretching out now from 7 to 9. I think off that tightener, a gun runner out of a Tappet mare. It might be the old all systems go angle for Magazine Street. Number 4, Wolf County in second, a really wake up third. Second out for Brendan Walsh. Number 9, we go outside here. Andy Cant for Bill Mott, who's going forward. The runners Bill has sent to Churchill Downs are all firing. So take note of that. Star alignments wide out there for Cox and Giroux. And then number 6, Curly Tail for Dally Stewart, who's having a really, really good late summer, early fall, gearing up for Fairgrounds.
Yeah, I've been saying all year he's having a good year, but the past month or so, well, he started out on opening day at this Churchill meet. knocked it out.
Three winners, right?
Yeah. 6 to Churchill on Saturday afternoon. Again, maiden specials. This time 7 furlongs is the trip.
In the 5th, I should have mentioned this, kicks off a middle pick 5. The 6 kicks off another pick 4 here. 4-6 over the 10. The 4, Peaceful Waters. There's some okay proven runners here, but Al Stahl's got a nice firster here by Dialed In. They paid $220. And this is Allied Racing of Chester Thomas, who typically has his horses with Brett Calhoun. I don't remember him having one with Al. I might be totally wrong. 6 full out of the dam. 3 of them have earned $155,000 plus. So there's some sibling power here. A lot of solid works. The stats don't show it, but Seth, you remember this 5-6 years ago, Al used to be about 28% with first-time starters. He knows what he's doing. And I think it's significant too that Peaceful Waters is running today when Fairgrounds opened already, and this horse could easily run at Fairgrounds where Chester Thomas, the owner, is based. And no, we're going to run at it for 120 on closing weekend at Churchill. I got a feeling this horse is primed to fire a big shot. If it's good enough, we'll find out. Number 6, Chasing Time for Asmussen in Rafael Bejarano. That's not one you see either. Very proven form here. A good 4th, a good 2nd. Burn some money, but very, very logical if the firsters aren't ready to roll. And then Gunno on the outside for Cox and Giroux, a couple solid runs too. At odds on though, and couldn't get it done at Ellis. Tread a little lightly here at Churchill, 4-6-10 in the 6th, another pick 4.
And once again, don't be fooled by the $1 million price on Gunno because it's an OXO purchase, and Larry Best likes to send in the money. So all of his horses, I think, are a little bit inflated. So again, normally you look at $1 million horse and your eyes pop out, but this guy, they all tend to be up in that area. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We will continue with Churchill a little bit later on Aqueduct. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Handicappers Report. We are looking at the action for Saturday, November 27th, a big holiday weekend of racing, and that includes the racing down at Churchill. I'll take a look at some of the action at Aqueduct coming up a little bit later on, but don't forget there's great racing at Del Mar as well. It's really a fun weekend. Churchill's 7th, however, it's an optional claimer. Non-winners of one condition, 8.5 furlongs is the distance.
4-3-6-1, feeling happy, got was up in time on debut against the restricted maidens, and then stepped into deeper last time and lost to a buzzsaw when she was beaten over 10 lengths, but she was well clear of third start of her career. Now she stretches out to 2 turns. Mine shaft on the bottom of this pedigree says why not, and she's going to be a square price too. Let's put her on top. Freedom Rose is interesting. Had Polly and Turf at Arlington, gets off the turf at Keeneland going 9 furlongs and just absolutely freaks in the slop in her lone dirt start. What do you get today? Hopefully on a fast main track, we don't know. but boy, that was certainly a nice performance. Bahoma for Kenny McPeak's got proven form, was a good second last time, and then down inside, full focus for Cox and Godolphin and Giroux, broker maiden last time, facing winners, draws perfectly here. A lot of upside there. 4-3-6-1 set. Derby City 6 time, by the way.
All right. That means race 8 will kick off a late pick 5. Race 8 is another optional claimer, non-winners of 1, also 8.5 furlongs.
So this is the best bet of the day, and admittedly, the best bet of the day is causing me to drink because I'm winning 3, 5, 6 races a day at Churchill, and the best bet of the day is nowhere. So very frustrating. I'm going to change it up a little bit. And Kevin's Folly is the best bet of the day at a big number, 8 over the 5-11. There's a lot of speed in this race. Okay. Kevin's Folly had no chance last time from the parking lot in the Grade 1 Breeders' Futurity. So we'll draw a line through that race. I really liked how he ran. About the only horse that day that really closed a lot of ground in the hopeful, other than Wit. And I thought he ran very well to be third. Now we stretch out for the second time into a pedigree that says this is the thing he wants to do. Should get some speed to track. He's back with his friends today with a much, much better post too. Best bet of the day at a number, Kevin's Folly. Fan the Fair, the 5 for Mike Maker, really looked good winning last time, getting back to the dirt at Keeneland. Now we face winners today, but he's another one that should be able to settle a little bit and make a run. And then outside number 11, Play Action Pass for Robbie Medina. Edgar Zayas coming up from Gulfstream. We know him well down here. Top rider. Now this one, had another one that didn't have a lot of chance in his last 2 starts with the post. There's a little bit of stakes talent here. Don't sleep on Play Action Pass at a nice price. As you can tell, Seth, I'm against the favorites. None of them are overwhelming. None of them have any distinct advantage on paper. Let's go with Kevin's Folly, the best bet of the day, 8 over the 5-11, kicking off the late pick 5 as well.
Yeah, and if folks are curious, when you mentioned Zayas, I thought coming up from Florida, but there's a Gulfstream shipper in the stakes race today, and he's on board that one for Saffy Joseph. One of the stakes on the card, race number 9, the Lively Shively, a couple $100,000 up for grabs for the 2-year-olds going 6.5.
Are we supposed to know who Lively Shively is? I don't. I'd like to think my memory is pretty good. Okay.
Not me.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. 652. How about the coach with a nice 2-year-old? Wayne Lucas, Ignitus, broke through finally last time after threatening all summer at Ellis and then at Churchill as well. And he just blows the doors off him at Keeneland when he cut back to 1 turn. He's drawn well here. He can settle off the speed. He's got to improve. There's no doubt about it. But other than Tejano Twist, who's a 7-5 morning line favorite, I actually agree with a morning line at Churchill Downs. Go figure. But he's run 87s back to back, and you just maybe wonder, Seth, if he's going to regress a little bit. Now, if he runs back to either of those two, and he answered the bell at Keeneland last time in a drubbing, he's going to be tough to beat. There's no doubt about it. But maybe he regresses a little bit. Maybe Ignitus is getting good, and they kind of meet in the middle. And Ignitus is going to be about 6 times the price. So let's go with that. Tejano Twist in second. Cool Papa ZG. Asmussen's got 2 in here, and I don't really like Chat a lot that much. So I went Cool Papa G, who can pass horses too. I think the pace is going to be heated in here. I put him in third against Chat a little bit, who I think might have got exposed a little bit last time. I don't know. The comeback win really sticks out as maybe an aberration. 6-5 over the 2 for me in, as you said, the old Lively Shively.
Okay, well, I have looked it up as
Thank
you were talking, and I went to Equibase and typed in Lively Shively, no results, and then I typed it into Google. It's a city in Kentucky. Shively, Kentucky is a small third-class city in southwestern Jefferson County. So I'm guessing Lively Shively must be some reference to the locality. Yeah,
maybe they like to party there. I guess I don't know.
It's small, and so what else do they have to do is have some fun.
Got to be lively.
At the Churchill today, the Goldenrod. This one's for the 2-year-old fillies. 8.5 furlongs the trip.
Just 1-4 here, and Famed is the little sister to Essential Quality. So The word's been out, obviously 9-10 on debut, and she was second, and then blows the doors off them at 2-5 in 11 horse field last time at Keeneland. Steps up, winners, stakes company, 2 turns, all for the first time, but she looks like she's going places to me, and she draws perfectly as well. Sandstone is your 8-5 morning line favorite. I would think Fame's favorite either way. It's a coin flip, and they're clearly the 2 gals to beat. Sandstone just ran off the screen in the rags to riches over the track and distance last time as the prep for this race, and she won by double digits. But Ugiri, who's also in here, was 3-5 that day, and they kind of dueled early. I say dueled. They ran around through slow splits, and then Sandstone just blew the doors off of her. Nobody else ran that day, so I think it's a little inflated, the margin for victory, because as you can see, Ujiri still held second. But listen, she could win. I just think Fame's got a lot more upside, and I would think Sandstone regresses a little bit. So it's just, to me, 1-4 Seth, and I don't know. It's kind of tough to come up with anybody else. Maybe Ugiri with blinkers on, rebounds, but I'm kind of against her. And other than that, to come up with anyone else.
That was a good look in Maiden Breaker from the sibling, the essential quality. I'm kind of with you. That there's some upside, I would think. Speaking of siblings, we talked last week about the sibling to Clairiere, who was also debuting at a little bit of a tough distance. Older sibling Clairiere had done it. Lacrette, I thought looked pretty good. I didn't see any number subsequently, but it was a good looking performance from Clairiere's sibling.
Super slow. I think a 67. I think. I saw Hirsch write up something, and he said, like, normally this number wouldn't qualify for my story. So I was really, really slow. Yeah, you're right. She did do it the right way, and look very good doing it. And I would think you'll see her down the profession as Clairiere took last winter at Fairgrounds. She's one start behind Clairiere, as we talked about last week. But you would think maybe he can fit, Steve Asmussen can fit a 2-turn, optional claimer in her if they write one, if they fill one. But other than that, you're talking Silver Bullet Day, Fairgrounds Oaks, Pat.
The Kentucky Jockey Club, like the Goldenrod, one of the races got on late in the 2-year-old season to maybe point to the 3-year-old fillies, the 3-year-old males to look at as the calendar turns in a month and a half or so. Kentucky Jockey Club, mile of 16, $400,000 up for grabs. Grade 2 event. Your thoughts in race 11?
Well, my thoughts are Hot Time is clearly the horse to beat. I mean, he's the dirt horse. He won the street sense. He's got 2 fast figures. And then my other thoughts are on anything to do with a horse like Classic Causeway and Tis the Bomb. So I've got an 8-5-9, and here's that guy Kenny McPeak again. I know Smile Happy didn't really run a big number at Keeneland, but doing what he did, Seth, and where he came at the short finish line of a 2-turn a mile and 16th race at Keeneland to win off like he did, that's heady stuff. And he's going to get some speed to run into. We've already talked about these Kenny McPeak 2-year-olds. And by the way, let's give Ruppy a little golf clap too, right? His horses are running now, right? He was like 1 for 50 or something crazy with first-time starters, and everybody was kind of blasting him a little bit. He is getting runners now, and Smile Happy looks like another one. And he's already shown. I don't think it's a big deal, Seth, when 2-year-olds come from off this pace, especially going 2 turns. He did it. He's going to get more pace to run at today. Yes, he steps way up, but the price is going to be right. Smile Happy on top. I think Howling Time's clearly the horse to beat. I think he should be the favorite. He could be a comfortable favorite. He's already a track and distance winner in the street sense. There's a lot to like about Howling Time. I'm hoping Smile Happy can get there. Howling Time's already there. I mean, he's already proven he's plenty fast enough to win this race. He's clearly, in my estimation, the horse to beat. Red Knobs chased him around last time in the street sense. I thought he ran okay. Thought he ran pretty good in the Iroquois, too. He's got a lot of foundation for Dale Romans. He'll pass some stragglers in the lane at the price, so maybe he gets there. I'm just against Classic Causeway. I know he draws better, but, he gave it up pretty readily last time. And then Tis the Bomb. I know he did run off the screen at Ellis to break his maiden on the dirt, but it was an off the turfer against 5 others. I feel like his turf form is the reason he's favored here. And he can beat me at any kind of number. I would fade him all day long. 8-5 over the 9 for me.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see where the odds go there, because the betting public's usually savvy enough to recognize seems better on turf. I mean, not to say he hasn't gotten better and may run well on Saturday, but tough to take a short price on that kind of a scenario, particularly when some others in here have proven themselves on dirt. I'll take another flyer on Guntown. That Ellis Park win was just too good to ignore. Now, subsequently, has not looked good. I'm not saying I've handicapped the race and putting him on top. I'm just saying at a price, I'll play around with that one because he rebounds to that Ellis, but the subsequent 2 have not been promising, certainly. 12th and final today at Churchill. Going to go off about 6:30 this evening. It is the Fern Creek. I would expect that's probably another local community. A couple $100,000 up for grabs, 6.5 furlongs the trip.
They're just throwing money and naming stakes races after little towns in Kentucky.
Well, up here we have the Schuylerville and the Amsterdam.
That's true, but we've had them for a while. They're just making up races now at Churchill. Hey, we got this 200 grand to spend. Give me a race. 8-2-6-4 for me, Seth. They're all the logical horses. Sweet Danny Girl is 2 for 2 for Carlo Vaccariza. Draws outside. Has a win at Churchill Downs, and that's where I landed. Matarea, the Godolphin homebred for Cox and Joel Rosario. Marissa's Lady for Bill Morey, certainly in the mix off that powerful debut, and then very little sense might try to wire them all. I'm just giving you all the logicals, and the order I came up with was 8-2-6-4. An awesome card, the penultimate day at Churchill as they close it down Sunday. This is a fun card. A lot of my friends this is like one of their favorite days of the year, that this great 2-year-old Stars of Tomorrow card at Churchill Downs.
I'm a 2-year-old racing fan as well. You can look up some breeding and maybe find some value and connections and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to the Saturday card also. But also looking forward to Aqueduct. We'll take a break. We'll shift our attention to Aqueduct for Saturday afternoon. Stay tuned.
The Capital Region has some of the most sophisticated horse racing fans in the country. That's why Capital OTB built the Clubhouse Racebook. Here you can wager year-round on the best horse racing from around the world. The Clubhouse also has monthly promotions including live bankrolls, handicapping contests, and so much more. Like sports? Watch your favorite teams on more than 30 screens in Legends Field Sports Grill. Food, sports, and the excitement of championship horse racing. Only at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
Where's the best place to find your favorite teams, your favorite food, daily drink specials, and wagering on live horse racing? Legends Field Sports Bar, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Get your game on day or night with 75 flat-screen TVs, tournament-style pool tables, a private banquet room, and live horse racing. So if someone asks you, where's the best sports bar in the Capital Region? Tell them Legends Field Sports Bar, inside the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
The Breeders' Cup World Championships have given us some of horse racing's biggest thrills and biggest payouts, like the $2.7 million Pick 6 payout back in 2003. With a long list of betting options, it's never taken so little to win so much. So don't miss your chance to share in thoroughbred racing's richest event, the Breeders' Cup. And be sure to go to capitalotbbet.com to wager and win.
Welcome back to the Handicappers Report. Brian and Seth with you. We just got through 12 2-year-old races at Churchill Downs on that Stars of Tomorrow stakes-laden card. Now we switch over to Aqueduct for a 10-pack. Don't forget, next weekend is their signature fall / late season weekend with the Cigar Mile coming up. And that's a huge weekend that Seth will have covered for you. But he's got to get through today first. And it's an 11:50 post. Seth, they keep moving these posts on us. This is a 2-year-old maiden special weight. Nice race here, going 6 furlongs on the main track.
Yeah, very nice. I have it 4, 6, 1, and 2 up with Morello on top. An Asmussen runner by Classic Empire, who I think is turning out to be interesting as a sire. Worked 10.1 before attracting a nice big price earlier this year. There's a sibling called 2 to 1 that won its career debut. So I think there's win early, top and bottom, the workout, the price, the connections. Morello on top. Money Bolt, another Asmussen runner, attracted a big price from Lady Sheila. She also likes to spend some money. I mentioned Larry Best earlier. This one almost lived up to it in the second career start with a pretty good second place finish, but beaten as 3-5 that day, followed up and beaten as a short price favorite again last time when shipped down to Parks to face Pennsylvania breds. But on that number 2 back, I think you have to put the horse in the mix. Glen Echo also attracts some attention for Shug. It's a firster by Gunrunner. We're talking about sires. Certainly Gunrunner has jumped off the page, and anything he sends out now automatically gets paid attention to by me. Fletcher has never changed for Rapoli. I could make the case for that one as well, but I tilted in the direction of 4, 6, 1, and 2 in the opener.
The inner turf for the second to kick off the early pick 4. It's a state bred optional claimer 45. The tag 2X condition, a mile and a 16th on that inner turf.
Should it go on dirt 1A, 3, 10, and 13? And again, dirt selections are also listed on the one sheet. But on the turf, 8, 9, 1, and 3. I'll go out the Cars Dreamer on top. Dylan Davis riding this filly. Dylan riding very well. This one comes out of a state-bred stakes race last time with a good closing second-place finish. Showed some speed 2 starts back and got caught and ran third. So I think has the ability to kind of be tactical one way or the other. But I think off of those last couple of starts, some nice improving numbers. This horse is primed to run well Saturday afternoon. Cars Dreamer on top, 4 Canoe in the second slot. This is a New York bred who's been steadily facing open company and doing so pretty well, winning against open claimers down at Laurel 2-back and running a good third, good close-up third against open claimers at Aqueduct last time. Again, good form. I think a good fit with this bunch on Saturday afternoon. Third slot, we'll go with Marvelous Maud, likely raced runner for Michael Dubb and Company and Chad Brown. Numbers are maybe a little bit light as compared to the top 2, but they're moving in the right direction. And also it's a lightly raced horse that probably has some upside potential. So in the second at Aqueduct, 8, 9, 1, and 3.
We go to the outer turf for the third state bred maiden special weight 3 and up, 6 furlongs on that outer turf course.
Again, on the dirt, 8, 4, 15, and 14. If it's on the dirt, 8, 4, 15, and 14. But on the turf, 7, 2, 1, and 10. I'll put Yarrow on top. Christophe Clement runner that just seems to be improving, has been knocking on the door the last couple of starts. Debuted down at Tampa in February, then had a long layoff. And sometimes they get that layoff, they come back improved. That seems to be the case for this horse. Good third on the return at Saratoga, and then a closer second last time at Belmont. Again, I think primed to run well this afternoon. Yarrow on top. Citizen K for Horacio De Paz and Barry Schwartz. Big closing effort last time in the second start off a long layoff. So this is the third start back. Showed a nice closing effort last time from way back. You're always up against it when you come from the clouds. But the race 2 back, the seasonal debut, the horse was a little bit closer. I'm hoping we're more in that form on Saturday afternoon. And number 1, the Dave Donk runner in the third spot. I just thought the last couple of races were kind of promising and worth taking an extra look at a horse who's 10 to 1 on the morning line. I think this horse will potentially hold at a decent price, but I think this horse can absolutely compete with this field. Leaves from the 1, going to be able to save a little ground potentially and maybe make a run to get into the mix at a price in the third at Aqueduct. 7, 2, 1, and 10.
Race 4 is a really good starter allowance. 3 and up, 50 starters here, a 1-turn mile on the main track.
9, 8, 7, and 4. I'll put Texas Swing on top. Comes out of a win in a conditional claimer last time. Was in some allowance races before that and wasn't quite as successful. So how does this horse class up exactly? Well, I just kind of sussed out the rest of the field, and I think this horse is going to be okay. I mean, these starter allowances, you can wind up with a salty field, and I think this is a decent field, but I think this one is going to fit nicely. So the Todd Pletcher, Luis Saez runner off of the claiming win moving into company that is going to be a little tougher, but I think can do it successfully. No Burn, I was tilting in this direction originally, but off the claim, moving out of the Bill Mott barn, I'm wondering if the horse is going to hold as good form as we've seen in the last couple of starts where the horse is moving in the right direction. We'll see. Certainly, an October 31st claim, we're, 3-4 weeks out. That form from before is likely to hold. And so I have the horse right in the mix. Just wasn't enough for me to put the horse on top. And then Wicked Indeed in the third slot. This horse has been bouncing around this kind of company in the last few starts. In the last couple of starts has been right in the thick of things. So this is one that I think is firmly within the comfort zone in this starter allowance on Saturday afternoon. Fourth at Aqueduct, 9, 8, 7, and 4.
Kick off the pick 6 in race 5, and we're back to the inner turf. Fillies and mares 3 and up. It's a 1X going a mile on the inner.
Should it go on the dirt, 7, 11, and 10? But if it does go on the turf, 8, 9, 4, and 3, I will put Golden Plume on top. Short price on the morning line. No surprise. It's Judd It's Chad Brown. It's a horse that has shown a little bit of ability in that the horse won the career debut down at Tampa in January, then a long layoff. And again, another one of those came back improved number-wise, but finishing position-wise, a 4th and a 5th in the last couple of starts, but close up with good numbers. Again, with only the 3 starts, there's still some upside potential. 3rd start back off the layoff. There's things to like. I'll tilt in that direction. Windfall Profit in the 2nd slot. Shug McGahee trainee that ran 7th last time, but a decent, fairly close up 7th. It was less than 4 lengths. Adds the blinkers today. The race 2 back was certainly good enough. A near miss 3rd place finish. Solid number. I think this horse fits well. Heavy Jets in the 3rd slot. I'm going to draw a line through the off the turfer last time. The turf race just before that, a couple of turf races just before that, clearly good enough to mix it up with this group. And so again, I'm going to draw a line through that last race. Hope maybe that helps our odds a little bit. We're 7-2 on the morning line, but let's hope that darkens the formula. I think the betting public is savvy enough to see it was an off the turfer and not get too confused by that. But again, may hold up a little bit of value for that one. In the 5th at Aqueduct, 8, 9, 4, and 3.
And that'll bring us to another break on the Handicappers Report. When we come back, the late pick 5 at Aqueduct. Stay tuned.
The Breeders' Cup World Championships have given us some of horse racing's biggest thrills and biggest payouts, like the $2.7 million Pick 6 payout back in 2003. With a long list of betting options, it's never taken so little to win so much. So don't miss your chance to share in thoroughbred racing's richest event, the Breeders' Cup. And be sure to go to capitalotbbet.com to wager and win.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops, my bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Welcome to Albany County, an incredible destination to live, work, and play, with easy connections to more than a dozen cities from our vibrant modern airport. It's a short trip downtown to a hive of culture and amusement, from world-class shows at the newly renovated Times Union Center to reliving the past at the New York State Museum. From outdoor recreation to shopping to nightlife, Albany County has something for everyone. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to the Saturday Handicappers Report. Brian and Seth with you. We got through 12 on a 2-year-old card at Churchill Downs. We've gotten 5 down at Aqueduct, which means there's 5 left. Late pick 5 time here in race 6, 2:14 in the PM. Maiden special weight for 2-year-old fillies going 6.5 on the main.
I'm going to take a swing here. Hope the morning line holds up. I have a 9, 1A, 4, and 2. Adams Angel on top. I mentioned earlier on the show, a couple owners that like to pay a lot of money for horses. Cortland Farms, I don't think is necessarily in that area, but they are prominent owners. Back a few years ago with Mark Hennig, they were certainly live with 2-year-olds, and we'll see. This one goes out for Shug, and they paid over $1 million for this horse. Buy Into Mischief. The dam produced a sibling called Passive Investing that was second, and then won in the third career start. So I thought there was some win early there, top and bottom. And again, it jumped out that they did pay that kind of money. So I'll put Adam's Angel on top at a 10-1 morning line price. Second slot, Rough Tough Love. A couple of siblings were win early. There was a sibling, Jersey Chaser, that won in the second start. Another sibling, Pretty Savvy, that won the third career start. By Cupid, sire that I'm kind of warming up to, is producing some win early runners. Rob Atris trains for Michael Dubb and Company, so the right kind of connection. So 1A Rough Tough Love in the second slot. And then Send For Me, Jonathan Thomas runner. Buy Into Mischief. They paid a lot of money. The siblings were not win early, though, so I was a little bit concerned about this one. But with Into Mischief on top, Gustin Stable, Jonathan Thomas does very well with firsters. I couldn't ignore that one. Cupid's Girl, another one by Cupid that attracted me. There's a sibling called Pancakes and Batter that won its career debut. So at 15-1, number 2 Cupid's Girl is one not to sleep on as well. In the sixth at Aqueduct, 9, 1A, 4, and 2.
Stakes competition kicks off the late pick 4 in the 7th. It's the Central Park for 2-year-olds, a mile and a 16th on the outer. And this is a race to remember the winners or some even the also rans, because this has been a pretty good race the last several years. So take note. I know this is a soon-to-be 3-year-old turf division you like quite a bit too, Seth.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a 3, 1, 2, and 7. Should it go on dirt, I just leave things pretty much the same. There's nothing jumping off to, maybe you could look at the 5 if it goes to the dirt with that dirt race, the off the turf for last time. But on turf, Side Dog on top, the number 5. Grand Motion Runner looked really good in debut over at Belmont. Been working nicely at Fair Hill subsequently. So I think this horse is absolutely live in here. One start on the career, moves right into Stakes Company. I like the confidence, and I think has the ability to live up to that. General Ken, certainly 2 for 2. Chad Brown, stakes win already. This is going to be the horse to beat, no question about it. I just thought maybe there was a little more upside for Side Dog, so I'll tilt in that direction over General Ken. Gino in the third spot. Nice win in debut, close up second to General Ken last time. So it's one of those, you like one, you pretty much have to like the other as well. Fun race. I think any of these 3 can get it done. Linda Rice has Meseta on the outside. I put that one in the mix on the bottom. I wouldn't rule that one out at a decent price. But to me, the 1, 2, and 3 kind of mix it up and seem talent-wise pretty evenly matched. I have it in the 7th, the Central Park, 3, 1, 2, and 7.
So here's the Discovery in the 8th. And as you were talking and I was looking at it, I've got to admit, I didn't realize that Discovery is a pretty historic race. It's no longer a graded stakes race. Oh, my goodness, that's sad. Bet a lot of horses win this. I think Street Cry won this different era ago. I'm to check that out to test my memory, but it's for 3-year-olds. It typically used to open the Aqueduct season, I believe, Seth, and now it's a little further into it on a Saturday, but 3-year-olds going a tough, demanding 9 furlongs on the main track.
Yeah, fun little field in here. I have a 3, 6, 5, and 2. Speaker's Corner on top. This is a horse that clearly had shown some ability in a couple of starts last time and 3 starts back. The Pennsylvania Derby was subsequently a little bit of a disappointment, but that was ambitious. Now returns to Stakes Company and probably in a little more suitable kind of a situation. But again, the race 3 back, the race last time, the triple-digit buyers just say this could be a special horse for Belmont and Godolphin going forward into the 4-year-old season in a few weeks. So I'll put that one on top. But Miles D also has some potential. The triple-digit third and the buyer in the Travers behind Essential Quality and Midnight Bourbon was promising. Subsequently, an allowance winner over at Belmont, although the number regressed a little bit. But again, lightly raced. You would think, some upside potential here for Miles D as well. And Vindictive, similar situation, only 4 starts, has shown some flashes for Todd Fletcher. If Speaker's Corner comes back a little bit and Vindictive steps forward a little bit, wouldn't be a shock. But again, off of the triple digit, particularly the 109 last time, Speaker's Corner seems kind of tough in here. In the 8th at Aqueduct of Discovery, 3, 6, 5, and 2.
All right, so I'm not completely crazy. How about this? In 2000, Left Bank won the Discovery. In 2001, Street Cry didn't win the Discovery because he ran second to Evening Attire. So that's a pretty heady race. It was not run last year. Performer won it in 2019. Performer is a legitimate graded stakes horse. So anywho, I was surprised to see the Discovery is no longer a grade 3 race. What is a grade 3 race is the Long Island. They've pumped up to 400 grand in this thing. Fillies and mares 3 and up. We go 1.5 miles on the inner.
I'd keep it the same on the dirt. Again, there's nothing jumping off the page. There's no MTOs or anything. But on turf, 4, 7, 2, and 6, La Dragontia on top. Went up to Woodbine last time and just got nipped by Muta Makina. They're both back in here again today. I look to flip them around. I've said it many times. Sometimes as handicappers, we get too clever and try to flip them and they wind up just the same. But I just like the late run there, and I'll tilt slightly in that direction. Muta Makina in the second slot, off the win in the EP Taylor last time, over La Dragontia. They seem logical as the 1-2 coming out of that race. I have them 1-2 again, as I say, just flip-flopping them a little bit. And then I'll put number 2 for Chad Brown underneath. Won the Zagora last time. The numbers seem a little bit light as compared to the top 2. But it's a horse in good form for Chad Brown and may offer a little bit of value if you want an option. Luck Money coming in from a second place finish last time at Keeneland and a close-up fourth and a rich stake at Kentucky Downs just before that. A little bit interesting maybe for Arnaud Delacour to price if you wanted to fool around there as well. Trevor McCarthy on board that one. And there was a nice article in the Blood Horse the past couple of days. Bobby Holt wrote about Joe Migliori and Trevor McCarthy and their plans for, sticking around New York and making things work there, as Joe is now Trevor's agent. So check that out in the Blood Horse. But in the 9th at Aqueduct, the Long Island, 4, 7, 2, and 6.
Race 10 is the Aqueduct Turk Sprint Championship. They closed it down with the stakes like Churchill Downs did. I see my Breeders' Cup Turk Sprint pick, Arrest Me Red, is here after scratching out of that race with a little minor ailment. A good race, Seth. Huh? It's $150,000, 3 and up. We go 6 on the outer turf to close it down at the Big A.
On the dirt, 14, 5, 13, and 15. On the turf, I almost went with Arrest Me Red, but I went 7, 3, 5, and 6. I tilted towards Value Proposition, who just seems to be in really good form. Comes out of that 7 furlong turf sprint stake over at Belmont last time. So I just couldn't ignore the current good form. But Wesley Ward's Arrest Me Red, also in good form, won the Belmont Turf Sprint Championship, Turf Sprint Invitational last time with the triple-digit buyer. So, again, these are 2 horses in very good form. They should make this a ding-dong battle. Pulsate, a bona fide stakes quality turf sprinter, likely to run very well, so wouldn't knock that one either. Was second to my top pick last time. And turned aside, Dylan Davis on board a horse that has some ability over the Aqueduct turf. So I was kind of looking at maybe a horse for a course angle here that would have a little bit of potential, a little bit of value in a race that I think it's a fun race, and you can point at maybe 2 or 3 others and make cases for them. But for me, in the 10th and final at Aqueduct, the Turf Sprint Championship, 7, 3, 5, and 6. Let me just remind you that Saturday at the clubhouse, there is a match bet promotion. Come on down and enjoy that. Match bet at the Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. That's the same location that you can enjoy NFL football action every Sunday. Football and horse racing, clubhouse racebook throughout the season, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Brian, again, big weekend, so appreciate you taking a look at Churchill. Hopefully folks will benefit from some of your thoughts on the 2-year-old day, because, again, going back to Thursday, I was saying we both had some decent days at Churchill. Hopefully we'll keep it rolling through the weekend, and people can make a little money by pulling up the one sheet. So good luck, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, sounds good, Seth. I hope everybody had a good holiday. I hope you as well. And I'll be back in regular form last week. Dad's got me building a closet here. So I was in my, kind of my, I was allowed to take an hour off to bang this out real quick this morning, but he's down here putting me to work. So I'll be back in a more proper attire next week. I hope you and everybody has a safe and healthy rest of their holiday weekend, and looking forward to that Aqueduct Naira Mile cigar mile card, I should say, next weekend. So all the best to you, and we'll catch up in about a week.
That's great. The family comes down for a little Thanksgiving and they do some home improvements.
There is no rest for the weary down here, I tell you that much. My dad can't sit still. So yeah, we're doing I had a list brewing for him when he got down here. He hadn't been down for 2 years with the pandemic. So I said, Dad, you got a list here. Let's get hacking. So that's project number 1. So
very good. Very good. All right. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Good luck to everybody. We'll see you next week.